Have you ever wondered how the fearless Vikings managed to endure 16-hour nights, sub-zero seas, and months of darkness under Arctic skies? The Vikings were more than fierce warriors. They were survivors, pushing beyond known lands to conquer a merciless environment. Imagine unyielding winters, where the sun vanished for months, and only endless twilight remained. Much like the Neanderthals in the Ice Age, the Vikings faced unforgiving winters without the luxury of light or warmth. With no blazing sun to guide them, they navigated by stars and the pale moonlight. Every decision, every step, was made in stillness, with survival depending on their adaptability. Neanderthal ancestors relied on bone and stone tools to brave the cold, just as the Vikings did. Their strength and resourcefulness were key to surviving. In the darkness, the Vikings did not see an obstacle, but embraced it as part of their journey. They mastered the night, using fire and frost as tools for survival. Their endurance, much like that of early humans, allowed them to survive where others would have faltered, embodying the spirit of adaptation that began in the Ice Age. As the sun vanished, fire became not just a necessity, but a sacred lifeline. Inside the longhouses, the Vikings, like their Neanderthal ancestors, mastered fire. Using bone, stone, and ingenuity, they sparked flames to breathe life into their frozen world. In the brutal Ice Age winters, fire wasn't just warmth, it was survival. It was their defense against the cold and darkness. Wrapped in wool cloaks and sheepskin garments, the Vikings were prepared for the biting cold. Their clothing wasn't just culture, it was life or death. But the true source of life was the fire they kindled, a connection to their Neanderthal ancestors who survived through the same means. Oil lamps made from whale fat or seal blubber were their beacons in the dark, providing light and warmth in the endless night. Fire was both literal and symbolic, a tool for survival and a testament to their perseverance. Like the Neanderthals, the Vikings harnessed fire, a flickering promise of life in a frozen world. As the sun set and the Ice Age gripped the land, the Vikings adapted, using the Earth's raw materials to survive. In the endless nights, they turned to whale fat, seal blubber, and fish oil to keep the cold at bay. Without modern technology, they relied on their ingenuity and nature's gifts to light the darkness and warm their bodies. The flicker of oil lamps, made from the fat of sea creatures, became their lifeline, a vital resource in a world where survival was uncertain. These flames, though simple, were symbols of perseverance. Just as Neanderthal ancestors used fire to survive the harsh winters, the Vikings also harnessed fire as both a practical tool and a symbol of resilience. The oil burned long and bright, providing warmth and light, essential for their survival. Like the Neanderthals, the Vikings proved that the human spirit could endure through the coldest, most unforgiving environments. Their use of fire was a testament to their adaptability and the enduring legacy of human survival from the Ice Age to the Viking Age. In the bitter cold of the Ice Age, survival was an art, and hunting was essential. Neanderthals, our ancient ancestors, mastered the silent pursuit of prey, stalking through frozen landscapes. The Vikings, too, faced endless winter, guided only by shifting ice and the whispers of the wind. For months, the sun disappeared, leaving the moon as their guide. In this harsh environment, the Vikings followed subtle signs, tracks in the snow, and faint movements. Like the Neanderthals, they hunted sea creatures like seals, walruses, and whales. These animals weren't just food, they provided oil, meat, and tools. Survival was woven into the DNA of humanity. The Vikings inherited the instinct to adapt, endure, and thrive. Their hunts were not just about sustenance, they were rituals of survival. The silent pursuit, patience, and connection to nature were part of a long tradition of human evolution, proving that humans could rise to meet any challenge. As the sun set, the Vikings found themselves in a world where daylight was scarce and the stars offered faint guidance. Without modern tools, they relied on ancient methods to navigate the frozen seas. One of their most ingenious tools was the sunstone, a crystal that polarized light, helping them find the sun even during long Arctic nights. This ability was a testament to their deep connection to nature, passed down from their Neanderthal ancestors. In the vast, disorienting whiteness of the frozen seas, the Vikings' survival depended on finely honed senses. Their eyes, trained to spot the faintest changes in light and movement, guided their longships through the night. Despite the overwhelming darkness, they pressed forward, mastering the art of survival in a world where visibility was fleeting and every moment mattered. In the stillness of the Arctic night, they didn't just navigate the seas, they navigated their place in a world that had long tested human endurance. Winter brought isolation, but it also deepened the Vikings' bonds. Inside their longhouses, where the warmth of the hearth provided refuge, they gathered to tell stories, sing songs, and play games. These acts of togetherness were not just for entertainment, they were the lifeblood of their communities during the harshest times. Much like the Neanderthal tribes before them, the Vikings sat around the fire, sharing tales of survival, struggle, and triumph. They celebrated their victories and passed on wisdom for the future. The crackling fire was a beacon of warmth for both body and spirit. During long winters, the Vikings repaired ships, sharpened axes, and recounted stories of past battles. These weren't just stories, they were lessons about survival, resilience, and adaptation. Like their Neanderthal ancestors, the Vikings used these tales to teach strength and unity, ensuring that the human spirit would endure, no matter the challenge. The Vikings didn't just wear clothes, they wore survival. Layered in wool, sheepskin, and thick cloaks, they shielded themselves from the brutal cold, a skill passed down from their Neanderthal ancestors, who also mastered layering for survival during the Ice Age. Their clothing wasn't just functional, it was a testament to human ingenuity. Like the Neanderthals, the Vikings used materials to trap heat and block wind. Wool was their first line of defense, thick and coarse, perfect for retaining warmth even when wet. Beneath their cloaks, they wore sheepskin to protect against the Arctic cold. Their diet also adapted for winter, relying on salted meats, dried fish, and preserved food methods used by Neanderthals to survive harsh conditions. They stored food for the long, dark months ahead. Survival wasn't just about food and clothing. It was about tools. The Vikings carried knives, axes, and drills to cut fat, chop wood, and bore holes in thick ice tools, honed over generations. These methods and tools were part of a legacy that shaped human evolution. In the darkest nights, when the world seemed consumed by cold, creativity flourished. The Vikings, like their Neanderthal ancestors, didn't just survive the harshest conditions, they thrived. They turned adversity into innovation. Snow walls became insulation, holding in warmth as the wind howled outside. The Arctic winter didn't crush their spirit, it fueled it. For the Vikings, every challenge was an opportunity to adapt. Their oil lamps weren't just for light, they symbolized resourcefulness. With no modern technology, they crafted tools to survive the most extreme conditions. Like the Neanderthals, who invented tools for warmth, the Vikings used fire and ice to carve out life in the north. Even their navigation was a testament to perseverance. In months of darkness, the Vikings relied on moonlight and their trained eyes to navigate vast, featureless landscapes. They didn't retreat, they pressed forward, eager for the challenge. They saw winter not as a curse, but as a chance to innovate, adapt, and rise above. Even the mighty Vikings weren't invincible. As the Little Ice Age tightened its grip, the once navigable seas froze, blocking trade routes and isolating the Vikings. The harsh winters grew longer, and the ice that had once been an obstacle to conquer became a wall they couldn't breach. Their ability to adapt, survive the cold, and navigate through the darkness no longer sufficed. As the climate shifted, their tools and strategies became obsolete. The long, dark nights, once filled with ingenuity, turned into endless isolation and struggle. The Little Ice Age wasn't just a cold snap, it was a devastating shift. The temperature dropped, food became scarce, and trade halted. The Viking settlements in Greenland crumbled, unable to withstand the forces of nature they once mastered. Adaptation, though vital for survival, has limits. The Vikings learned that even the most adaptable civilizations are vulnerable to forces beyond their control. The cold, once an adversary to overcome, became an insurmountable force. When we think of the Vikings, we often picture fierce raiders under bright sunlight, but their greatest battles were fought in the darkness. In the silent Arctic nights, where moonlight barely lit their path, the Vikings faced their true test of survival. They didn't just conquer land, they conquered the elements, using the night as both their adversary and ally. In those long, cold nights, they built their legacy. They lit fires to ward off the cold, cut through ice to hunt, and navigated vast, uncharted expanses, using the stars and their intuition. These silent struggles were the true challenges of the Vikings. Their ability to endure, adapt, and push forward when darkness threatened to consume them. Survival was not just about strength. It was about mental resilience, creativity, and community. The Vikings showed us that the greatest victories are often won in the quietest moments. When the world seems to be against us, they proved that no matter how dark the night, we can always find a way to move forward. If the Vikings' journey through the long night moved you, don't forget to hit the like button and share this story. Join our community by subscribing to the channel so you won't miss the next exploration of humanity's survival through every challenge. And ask yourself, in a world shrouded in darkness, are we ready to light our own flame of creativity? That's all from Prehistoric Shadows until the next ancient echo calls us.